Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Telepathy. So we actually had a false alarm in the last episode. We said it was episode 76 then, but we lied. It's 76 now, and we can catch you guys up as to why that happened. But
Yeah,
Anna Catherine, everybody, just kidding.
yeah, just some like major technical difficulties on my part due
It's
to
okay.
Target's heyday microphone.
Cancel
We're
it.
literally
I'm
gonna
just kidding.
sue them. Yeah, cancel them. No, just kidding. That microphone actually lasted like 2 years, and it
No round of
was
applause for that
fine up until
microphone.
now.
Like she didn't die
Yeah,
peacefully. She had like a little bit of a dramatic death, but
yeah,
I mean, we shouted her
but
on the
as it
last
should
episode.
have. Like I'm
Yeah.
glad it had a dramatic death. It just, like it wasn't anticlimactic.
Exactly. But I realized that we hadn't scrapped an episode in so long because we did an episode on New Year's and all of that. And then it's
What
partly
was
my
the
fault
last one we
too.
scrapped?
I don't know. There was one, I think it was summer of 2023, and it was due to air conditioning. But with this one, it was like
Oh,
the microphone kept cutting in and out. So it was like Anna's computer audio. But then your computer is basically like a heater based on how much
yeah.
the fan, it's like, she has a lot to say.
Yeah, and it only got worse like last quarter because I accidentally dropped my computer and somehow it survived the fall, but like I think the fan got a little bit dislodged because it's a lot louder now.
Yes. But it's also partially my fault because, I mean, we knew about these technical difficulties as we were recording the episode. And Anna was like, I hope it's okay. And then we recorded and I listened back to it. I was like, yeah, the intro is a little bit rough. And then I just like scrolled ahead and like went to like towards the end of the episode and I was like, perfect. The audio fixes itself. And then as I was editing it, it like kept cutting in and out. And I was like, oh shit, like, wait, like guys. So we scrapped the episode. So goodbye to that episode. But it actually worked out
It's
because that
sad
wasn't a
because
video
it was a good
episode.
one.
It was, but it wasn't a video episode. And now we are able to
Yeah.
start the new year off with the video episode, which speaking of,
Yes.
available on YouTube and Spotify, new virtual episodes. We hope you guys enjoyed that as it premiered and debuted last week.
Yes. And Enzo's done a very seamless cut between us two in different states, but it almost looks like we're in the same room.
So seamless. Thank you.
Yes. But yeah, today we are going to be talking about a very interesting topic, which honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, the updates on this may change by the time this episode even goes up on Tuesday, because I think the main tea is happening on Sunday and Monday. So we'll see. But we wanted to kind of talk about what the heck is going on. I feel like the title of this episode should be called just like what the heck is going on with TikTok or something like
Correct.
that. Because nobody really knows, or like we know, but like we don't really know, you know?
Right.
I
But
feel like the problem escalated from like nothing to like a dire situation in a matter
that's
of
so
months.
true. Because I
Yeah.
feel like there's been different proposed TikTok bans. For example, I'm pretty sure our third episode of this podcast is literally about AI and a possible TikTok ban. And it's like, that was a year ago. Why are we revisiting this conversation and why is it actually happening? The main tea actually is I think that TikTok, yes, it's going down on Sunday, I believe, but I think that that just means the app is going to stop updating and it's just going to get really, really slow. Like, I don't think it's going to be off of our phones.
Well, also though, now based on the new news, I don't think anything is happening on Sunday. But that was just your little teaser. Let's first get into the
Okay. I wanted to get banned, but we'll get into that.
yeah, we'll get into that. We have a lot to talk about, obviously, because we're putting off the icebreakers,
Yes.
which we do every episode. If you're new here, it's Enzo's turn for the camp question.
Okay. So our camp question today, I literally had thought of, oh, I did. Your name, your age, and what's something that you think you should be good at, but you're not. And it can be because
Ooh.
you haven't, taken the time to learn it, or maybe it's just not one of the natural talents we were given.
Ooh, that's really good. That's a really good question.
Thank you.
That
Thank you
might be
so
the
much.
best camp question yet.
Oh my gosh.
Um,
Thanks. I think what's your favorite
okay.
color one though?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. My name is Anna. I'm 22, and something that I think I should be good at, but I'm not. Okay, I think I'm gonna say, honestly, I feel like playing instruments like
I was
the
thinking that of
guitar,
myself.
the piano. I'm good at it, but I feel like I'm not as good at memorization, at the memorization part of it enough to be able to just like improvise. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I've played piano my whole life up until high school. Now I like don't really do it. And then I started learning guitar like a year ago, and like I'm not doing that anymore, but I haven't played it in a while, but like I kind of want to get back into it. But like it's like I don't think I'll ever get to the point where I can just like improvise stuff.
Yes. No, I agree with that. So hi, I'm Enzo. I'm 17 and I I'm between two answers. I think guitar is one of those things where I feel like it should be in my job description. I feel like somebody should be able to bring a guitar to me and I should just be able to start playing it randomly, but that's not the case, unfortunately. Another thing is I think visual arts, painting, drawing, etc. I have a lot of art-based creative hobbies that I really, really enjoy. And so I feel like I should be good at, just like sketching stuff or painting and all of that. But it's never been something that I've been great at. And I hope that that can change in the future. But that's just one of those things. I feel like we all have something like that. So
Yeah.
share yours with us on our Instagram at the Telepathy Pod. Thank you.
Yeah. I kind of feel the same way about art. Like I'm good at it, but I feel like it still doesn't come naturally to me, you know?
But I also feel like I remember one of your, I think it was like a freshman year project that you showed to us. And I was like, Anna, you're good at visual art.
Yeah. Well, yeah, my drawing projects were good, but that was because I actually learned how to do it.
Oh, wait, that's so
Like
true.
I actually used what my professor taught me, believe it or not. Like
Oh my gosh.
so I mean, I know I'm like good, but I still feel like I should be better than I am.
I get that. Okay, moving on to music and TV shout outs. Do you have anything new you would like to add to our collection of weekly songs?
Let me find it. Do you want to go first? Because I forgot to check for one.
Sure. So I realized since we haven't, scratched or scrapped an episode really in a while at
Oh,
least, I was like, wait, there's literally music shout outs that we added to this that we just never explained.
wait, you're right.
And mine is still in my January playlist, and I've still been listening to the song a lot this week. So I'm like, why not just move it to this week? So In Material by Sophie, it's like a hyper pop song. We love Sophie, rest in peace. She's a super talented like DJ producer. She's worked with a lot of our faves, and In Material, such a good song. I think for some reason this time of year, it's a very like, upbeat hyper pop song, but something about it just during those like slower winter months where I'm a little bit like, the seasonal depression is hitting a little bit harder. For some reason, I always come back to this song, and she never fails to be in my January playlist. So January 2025, she's kept up the streak. In Material by Sophie, such a good song.
Nice. Mine from the week that we scrapped is a Bob Dylan song because we were talking about the Bob Dylan movie. It was that long ago. It was New Year's. And it was Stuck Inside a Mobile with the Memphis Blues Again, which is a really good song. That's
Featuring
not
Lana
in the
Del Rey,
movie.
Long Pond Studio
Yeah.
session versions from the vault.
Yeah, exactly. And then my music shout out from this week, I've been listening to a lot of like chill, like not very loud music, like more something you would put in the background at a dinner party vibe. Or like more just like it's like folk, but not really folk, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
This song that I've been listening to a lot is called If You Need Someone by the Field Mice. It's almost like
Okay.
electro folk. I think that's what it could be.
That sounds right.
But yes, the telepathy playlist. I know that you ask this every episode. You're like, man, because you asked, I'll let you know what it is. If you want to go to the telepathy playlist, you can go to our Instagram at the telepathy pod. Follow the highlight that has the playlist title. Click on it and click the link to the playlist, and you can listen to all of our music shout outs every week.
Absolutely. Okay.
I love how I come up with a somewhat creative way to say this every time.
I know it's like if you want to get to the playlist, you can. Anyways, so week recap. Anything interesting happen for you before we get into TikTok?
Not really. I've just been like going about my routine, which has been very good. Been getting work done, but also relaxing. And I'm going home tomorrow, so I'll actually see Enzo in 2 days. But I'm going home for Martin Luther King weekend because it's a long weekend, even though technically it's not a long weekend for me because I don't ever have class on Mondays, so it's just any other weekend actually. What about you?
So this week, it was exam week, but I have senior exemption, so I've just been at home, and it's been really good. I've had rehearsal and I've been
So
working too.
awesome.
But this was the one day where I didn't have really anything to do. But for some reason, I woke up just in the trenches. Like I woke up feeling slumped and down in the dumps. That kind of rhymed. But I mean, I'm
Yes.
feeling better now. But for some reason, I woke up and I was like, guys, what is in the air today? It wasn't
No, I
good.
literally actually think it's something in the air today
Right.
because I felt the same way.
Is
So,
Mercury in retrograde? No, I'm just kidding. Me, every time something goes
yeah, or
wrong, I'm
is
like,
TikTok? I think TikTok is in retrograde. Great.
it's TikTok cancer season, actually. No, I'm just kidding. It's not even
Yeah.
cancer season. We're far away from that.
Was that a segue?
Was that a segue? I think you were trying to make it one and I like failed, but TikTok is going down. What are your initial thoughts on this? I guess that's like a good basic way to start, you know?
Okay, so my really surface level thoughts, not taking into account anybody's feelings,
You got to do it
is
sometimes.
yeah. Oh, I accidentally just quit. Sorry, I was just my friend was just asking me an Illustrator question, and I had to respond to her.
Yes.
I was trying to like make it look like you know how when you're in a Zoom meeting and you're trying to make it look like you're not on your phone.
You're like,
And you're
yes,
like holding
that
it out of the
is
frame.
really interesting that you say that. I agree, and I will forward that to you. Thank you.
Yeah. Now I feel so honored that like she came to me for advice on Illustrator because you just know you got somewhere in the world when people are asking you advice about something.
You're like, yeah, let me help you really quickly. Ego
Maybe I
boost.
can't memorize guitar chords, but I can memorize what command to press when the perspective grid pops up on your screen.
Retweet.
Anyways,
Control C, Control
my
V that.
wait, really?
No,
Oh.
no, I said
I was
I
like,
said
what?
retweet, but then I was like trying to make a joke, like copy and paste that instead of saying
Yeah.
retweet because like it's a command.
Oh, wait, that's funny. That's funny. I'm gonna start saying
My
that.
humor is too like, no, I'm just kidding. It's
Yeah.
truly. I'm gonna start
Okay.
saying that. I'd be like, oh,
I
Control
was like,
C,
wait,
Control V
copy
that,
paste
copy and
works
paste
to
that.
get rid of the perspective grid. Anyways, okay. My really basic thoughts on the TikTok ban are A, up until like 2 weeks ago, I only knew what we had known in the last time we talked about TikTok, which was like episode 4 or something
I
of
think so.
telepathy. Like literally. And that was when it was more just like, oh my gosh, TikTok is getting banned. Like it's gonna randomly disappear off of our phones tomorrow or like any day. But like there were no statistics or facts about it. Except that they were maybe doing those trials with the CEO who is not from China. Then all of a sudden 2 weeks ago, because I haven't been on TikTok in so long that I didn't know this was happening or real. But then I found out like, oh my gosh, wait. So the Supreme Court is like voting on if TikTok is going to get banned or not. And then we'll get into more of the specificities about that. But honestly, and then my philosophical side of things, or my opinion is like honestly like I would love for TikTok to be banned because it's like plaguing the nation from screen time addiction.
I think he's from Singapore, by the way.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Because there was this whole video where like whoever was questioning him was like keeping saying that he was like from China and that he had to do with the Chinese government and he kept repeating over and over like, no, I'm from Singapore. No, I'm from Singapore.
Yeah, that's not China. Look at a map.
So it's your surface level opinion.
My surface level opinion is by TikTok. I want to see how our society moves forward from this because
Yeah.
I think that we just have the same sense of humor now almost. Like I feel like there's like a lack of like individuality, you know? Like obviously when YouTube was a big thing, there would be like the famous YouTubers and everybody would watch those videos, but I think now we're seeing literally it's like a big giant inside joke, like very demure or just like different lingo and trends and stuff like that we all collectively share. And it's like gets to the point where it's like unfunny because everybody is saying
Yeah.
it. It's like, where's the
And the
individuality?
slang And like the new slang, new slang by the Shins. That's a song. Okay, anyways. The literally like new slang is developed like every week. It feels like, you know, like you can't keep up with what this slang is anymore. Whereas back in the day, like in the 80s or whatever, my parents would just say like, be there or be square. And like that was it for like 2 years,
For 2 years.
you know? Whereas we have like very demure for like 3 days and then we're moving on to something else.
I also kind of feel like big creators don't exist anymore. But I mean, just saying that because I'm irrelevant. No, I'm just kidding. But I feel like with TikTok, you're seeing so many people a day. And it's like, you don't really have the desire to follow somebody super often because if you see a funny video, you're normally analyzing and laughing at the joke that they made as opposed to this person's sense of humor, this person's ability to create content. So it's more of just like how
That
it
is
feeds your brain
so
dopamine and less
true.
of like how I actually want to interact with this person that I'm seeing on the internet.
I saw that reminded me. I saw this like comment by somebody on Instagram Reels recently where it was like basically a TikTok comment. And it was she basically like watched the video and then she commented like, I'm gonna miss you guys so much when I scroll. And that's so representative. Like, you know, like she knows that she won't watch them as a creator, so she doesn't follow them. But she knows that she's gonna miss them when she scrolls and she'll never see them again. But like at the same time, they don't make content to be a creator.
No, literally, but it actually is crazy too to see who's somebody, James Charles. Literally, I think that he is a genuine phobia of going irrelevant because it's the way, like, I've seen a bunch of his TikToks about the TikTok ban and all that. He's like, what am I going to do? And it's like, babes, you were a YouTuber years ago and
Yeah,
now
what
you're
the
like a
heck?
TikToker. And apparently he has like 40 million followers on TikTok, which I think is more than YouTube. So I'm like, is TikTok just more
Does
like
he like place his
widespread?
identity in TikTok now?
I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't know. He kind of gives opportunists to me.
Yeah, and he
That's a
just
different
went super
story.
viral for all of his Dress to Impress videos. So like I don't think he has anything to worry about. Like he just
He definitely has
had a
something to
big
worry
moment on
about,
YouTube.
but I think it's just the type of thing where, I mean, because I do YouTube as a hobby, so it's not my full-time job. So I don't really relate to this, but to see all these influencers, and I feel like we saw it when YouTube was kind of starting to die down. Everybody's scrambling over to TikTok, and now everybody's trying to scramble over somewhere else, trying to stay relevant and all of that. And I think it's just sad because everybody's like wondering where to go. And I'm like, guys, I thought we were like all gonna agree that it was like YouTube's time again, but
Yeah, I think that's the big issue then that I've been thinking about a lot, which we can get into a lot later. I'll just say it, but then first we should like break down some timelines and stuff, and then we can go even more into our opinions.
yes.
But it's like a debate in my brain of like who is more important to like save, like the influencers who need to make money on the app, or like high schoolers and elementary schoolers and middle schoolers that are like addicted to TikTok and need to like go outside. And I'm almost like more in favor of these kids and not the influencers. Like
Oh, for sure.
even though it's their job, like I I feel like TikTok is causing such a mental health crisis or whatever, which you know because you made like a video about it for your school. And but on the other side of this, I'm also like, well, I don't know. I feel like immediately another app is going to pop up and take the place. So I don't know if it's going to help anything, but I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean we can get into this now, but of how the ban, it's basically getting banned on the grounds of the concern for national security and basically a bunch of, US citizens, their data being stolen and stored basically. But I think it is kind of not like a slap in the face, but it feels weird because TikTok has so many other impacts on mental health and stuff. And it's like we've been through this, but it's like we only start to care when it's a privacy concerns and stuff like that. So I don't know. I did a video on this for a school project and I got a lot into, I think that at first when I started making this video, I was focusing on how much people are consuming and just the amount of it and stuff like that. But then when I actually interviewed a teen counselor at like a local hospital, and he talked about more of what people are viewing and just, I mean, okay, a little bit of like a trigger warning, but just like how widespread stuff on like eating disorders and self-harm are on TikTok and how it's very accessible to young, impressionable minds, you know? So I think that that's something that also should be taken into account. But I know that it's getting banned on the grounds of national security. But I don't know. I feel like there's a lot that goes into why I kind of want TikTok to disappear.
Yeah, I think in the long term, I feel like now the government needs to start making more. I mean, social media has been around for like 15 to 20 years now, and I feel like it's about time for the government to start being like, okay, we need to make some legislation around this because it is affecting the life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness of our citizens. You know, like the
think so
pursuit of
too.
happiness. How are you going to pursue happiness if you're sitting in bed for 8 hours a day on TikTok?
I
Think about
agree.
that one.
Because I think screen time limits could be effective. And it's gonna impact all of us. Like I'm not trying to sit on this like higher pedestal. I'm like, you guys need to have your screen time limited. Every time I'm talking about this, I'm including myself in this conversation. But
Yeah.
I genuinely think that it's getting to be an issue, and it's the age that people get on social media, it's getting younger and younger. And it's really sad to see. And I'm like, I think that we are gonna see long term. I think we are seeing long term impacts of this.
Yeah.
And with Gen Alpha and stuff, I'm like, dare I say it's up to Gen Z? It's not up to Gen Z because, like, are we the oldest right now? No, but I feel like we need to kind of put our foot down and be like, wait a minute, guys, this isn't good. Because I can see arguments of, you know, having the government regulate screen time and stuff, how that could be impeding on freedom and just like your ability to dictate your own life. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
But I also think that it wouldn't be too bad if there were screen time limits or just like
Yeah, like I think the alternative, like it would be impeding on your like freedom of choice, I guess, to do whatever you want, but at the same time, like I guess you're not hurting anybody else, but you're hurting yourself. I mean, you could be hurting other people if you're posting content that invites other people to do bad things, but like it's like yeah, it would be limiting your freedom of what to do, but at the same time, like what you're gonna do in alternative is gonna be way better than
yeah, I agree. But I am scared that if people start asking about this, then it's gonna be like, well, you're a hypocrite because and it's like, this is not the same thing. Like your body
Yeah.
and your phone aren't. Anyways, that's a different conversation. But
I do want to like talk about the general like what's going on with this actual legislation
okay,
before we get too deep into the episode. So
Yes.
basically right now, a few months ago or whatever, the government was like, okay, we think that TikTok is like breaching people's information and data or whatever. And so then they were like, okay, so either a US company, I believe, a US company can buy TikTok, or we're going to ban it from the country on January 19th, which is the last day of Biden being in the office. They did that thinking that somebody was going to buy it. Yeah, so this date is getting really close, and they're like, oh my gosh, nobody's bought it yet. Like, do we ban TikTok? Like, is this actually going to happen?
Yeah.
So now, this is from an article that was posted 3 hours ago. Now both Biden and Trump are trying to extend this deadline. So Biden is trying to stop it before Sunday because that's all that he can do. And then when Trump gets in office on Monday, he's going to try to extend it at least 2 to 3 months. So they're kind of like working together to like, they're both on the same page of like, we want to like put this off. But like, now I'm confused because it's like, I just want to see, like, I just want the drama to go down on Sunday and I want this to be over with, you know?
I agree. I don't want to hear about, like, I'm kind of ready to be done with TikTok. And I think we've also all accepted that. And I want to see what the world looks like without TikTok.
I know, like, I want to see it so bad.
Like,
I
nobody
still
buy it,
remember
please.
the
Nobody
day,
send it.
and I still remember, like, the day TikTok was born. Like, I remember when, I kind of just forgot that Musical.ly was, like, TikTok was Musical.ly.
Literally. And we moved on
Wait,
from that
was
too.
it? Wait, was TikTok Musical.ly?
Yeah.
Wait, so yeah, okay, yeah. Like, I hadn't thought about that in so long that I began to question my beliefs. But I remember the day that the app icon changed to TikTok. and me being like, this is stupid, like
It was like
TikTok, and then I
embarrassing
didn't.
to have TikTok then.
Yeah, it was. And then I didn't use it for like a few months, and then I started hearing like, oh, it's really awesome, and I was like, wait. So then I used it, and then I got really addicted, and then somehow I just broke my addiction in the past like 6 months.
Okay, I feel like TikTok was such a pandemic thing, you know? It was so like, guys, it's quarantine and I
Yeah.
am addicted to TikTok. So I feel like there was the pandemic time glitch, you know? Like I feel like time just stopped moving when COVID happened. And so I'm like, maybe if TikTok goes down, this is our way to move on and like break
Yeah.
free from that and
Wait,
venture
I have
into
a
a new
new.
chapter of society. Capiche? Like,
I have
do
a
you see the
new.
vision?
Wait, yes, but also I have a new theory surrounding
Okay.
this. What if the idea of time stopping in the pandemic is because we spent so much time on TikTok that we didn't get to see life like move? We only spent time on the screen.
Like that first hit of short form content was like altering,
Yeah.
time altering. That's how impactful it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, like we spent so much time on it that we didn't see time move because you don't see time move when you're on TikTok. It's
Right.
almost
I
like
mean,
a
but I
form
guess
of
people were
time
using it in
travel.
2019 too. So I don't know. But
True.
I mean, moral of the story, there was some sort of fever dream happened when the pandemic started. And I was on TikTok then. Therefore, there is a correlation because I said so.
Exactly. And we are experts. We both have a degree in telepathy,
TikTok.
analytics, and podcast truth. So you can trust us. So I made a list of pros and cons of this TikTok ban.
Okay.
So my pros, well, we kind of already talked about this a little bit. My pros are that the kids will finally get off their phones, and two, the YouTube renaissance. And then my cons are, okay, this is a really interesting con that has nothing to do with influencers. So my other cons are like influencers will have to figure out where to go. Also, okay, wait, I have two things to say. So starting on the influencers, since we already touched on that. So like influencers will fall off. And two, influencers will, I heard this from somebody, I think it was this guy named Nikki at Night who has a podcast.
Okay.
He said that influencers are going to try to go to YouTube and like become YouTubers, and then they're going to realize how much harder the YouTube algorithm is, and then they'll fall off and it'll be like a big flop.
What? Who
For
said
them.
that? Who said that?
What did he say?
No,
I didn't hear
I
you.
like I fully agree with that. And I always
Yeah.
feel so annoying saying that, but and this is not trying to be like try being an influencer for a day, not that, but some of these TikTokers, I'm like, guys, try editing a YouTube video. And that's not me
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
be
that's-
annoying, but it's like I don't think that
That's
people
exactly what this guy said.
I think
too.
people need to give YouTubers their flowers. It's not trying to diminish the value and talent of some content creators on TikTok, but I think that people do need to give YouTubers their flowers because editing a 30-second video compared to like a 10-minute
Yeah.
or even like a 30-minute video essay or something like that, like just give the YouTubers their flowers is all I'm asking.
Yeah, exactly. So that will be really interesting to see. I just like, I really do want TikTok to be banned just so that we can see how this goes down. But my second big con, not that the influencer thing was a con, it's just a con for the influencers, not necessarily for me. Us saying that as we are influencers, but we don't really make any money from it.
Yeah, we're gonna go from making $1
not
a
from
day
TikTok.
to $1 a day pretty much after the
Yeah,
TikTok
basically.
ban.
Exactly. So the other con, which I actually care about, is people with small businesses that make a lot of money on TikTok Shop will lose a lot of money because that's like such a big way to promote a small business. And like I would totally, if I had started a small business within the time of TikTok being around, I would have definitely used that, not out of wanting to, but out of like knowing that that would be a great way to like make money.
For sure.
So like imagine people who make, I don't know, like iron-on sweatshirts or like embroidered things like on Etsy shops, and they use TikTok Shop to also sell that. So they're gonna lose a huge stream of income.
Absolutely, because I think that marketing is constantly evolving. Like 20 years ago, companies would focus a lot on, let's say, a billboard or something on the highway, but now a company might put that budget towards hiring a social media manager and stuff like that. And the thing about it though is all of this happens naturally and it's a gradual change. But when you're having a lot of promotion on TikTok and that's generating a lot of income for you, then when you go cold turkey basically and TikTok is gone or all of its users
Yeah.
are locked out of the app or the app is crashing and they're all moving to different platforms, then you're having to make that sudden shift as opposed to just a gradual change over time with deciding how to market your brand or something. So definitely, you know, I mean, there's a lot of big corporations who make so much money from TikTok and stuff like that, but there are small businesses as well who have taken off due to TikTok or just have been able to generate a lot of income due to promoting
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that is definitely a con, and I agree with that.
Speaking of advertising, I did write down something related to that, and I'm also in an advertising class right now, so I'm paying extra attention to advertising. And what you were saying about like how marketing changes so much throughout the years based on the media, basically, or the medium, like the platform, is definitely true. And that's why I'm kind of like, it's not going to be the end of the world for marketing because something new will come around. You can even just use like Instagram Reels. It's not like all of social media is being deleted. But Duolingo posted a really interesting little campaign, like the past few days, that has to do with like TikTok was banned. Or no, so in China they're using something right now that
Zhao
is not.
Hongshu, that's what Red Note is.
Yes, that. Which I don't know much about that. But yeah, so Duolingo was posting these funny things like, so now you're learning Mandarin? Like, so that you can
Oh,
go on that app when TikTok gets deleted. And then Duolingo made that like officially like, this is our last TikTok.
oh
And we'll
wow.
see. We'll see if that actually goes through, if like, TikTok does get banned.
I could see a big false alarm. This feels very historical right now, and it feels like it's happening so suddenly. And I feel like we've seen so many proposed bans in the past
Yeah.
years like past like year or so, I think. So it's weird that it's actually happening now. And I've literally seen people be like me when I see my favorite edit and they save it to their camera roll because they're not going to be able to look back on it.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, I did see this funny one that was like me and all of my saved recipes that I'm never going to cook disappearing. And I'm like, that's so
Good thing I've
true.
been
But
doing that
also
on
like,
Instagram.
true. Just screenshot it or something
Or
like
just
that. I don't
adding
know.
things to my Google Drive, Google document of recipes, which is
You
what I
want to
do.
guess the password to my Google
To my
Drive.
Google Drive. Yeah. Everyone wants to guess the password to my Google Drive when I'm the only one with recipes in 3 days.
Okay, but think about what no TikTok could do for the music industry.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
we could have 3-minute songs again.
Yeah, yes, but it's like it's so nuanced. Like, yeah, yes, that's what I want to say, but at the same time, like, Brat Summer only happened because of TikTok. But
That's
to be
true, but it
fair,
happened.
she didn't make Brat Summer. She didn't make Brat for TikTok. So, yeah. Or, she made Brat
Yeah, like
organically
Brat
without.
Summer was so widespread because of TikTok. Every time I say widespread, I think of um, what is it? Wait, yeah, I've seen it. I mean, I don't know how widespread it is, but I've seen it in a couple of posts. But I am in queer media, so like that's a TikTok meme. We're holding space because that's a TikTok meme. But it's like
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
know.
let that
I think it would be
statement
so cool
sit
to
in the
see YouTube,
space.
YouTube doing its thing again.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Also, like, I'm so excited for, like, a song I like to not get TikTokified. Like, imagine. That's, like, genuinely one of the worst feelings in the world when you go on TikTok and, like, random, like, basic people are making one of those, like, just showing their outfit to, like, one of your favorite songs that nobody else knows.
One question that I saw, which I thought was kind of interesting, and I actually don't fully know the answer to this, but what like precedent is this going to set? Because me personally, I haven't really seen much government regulation on social media. Um, do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Well, I mean, obviously there has been, but I think with just the recent rise of AI and other stuff like that, I think that there's a lot of newer things that are happening and very prevalent in Gen Z, I think. And so it's finally
Yeah.
like getting the attention of the government. So I'm like, what precedent is banning TikTok going to set in the future? Like, are other apps going to be targeted
That's
next?
very
Or
true.
do you know? I don't fully know.
Yeah, because I almost feel like once they resolve the TikTok issue, they're gonna be like, all right, what should we focus on next?
Yeah.
Not like to get rid of, but to at least like regulate. So it'll be interesting for
Yes.
sure.
For sure.
I think it's yeah. I don't know. I like don't know what to expect, but I just like sit and imagine the world before TikTok, and imagine the world being like that right now.
I know.
Like I can't even it's hard to even like imagine, but I feel like there's so much wide open possibilities in
I
space.
know. So, okay, if TikTok is getting banned in the US and it's still available in other countries, do we think, is it just going to fall off? Do you know what I mean? Like, are there so many US creators to the point where, or US consumers and creators, that with all of them moving off, is it like enough to keep the app running? I mean, certainly because it's like US is the only country in the world, but I'm
But
like, is
like I feel
TikTok
like
still, like, TikTok will still exist in other countries? And I mean, I feel like we have listeners from other countries. So if you guys want to let us
yeah.
know, like, how you think that this is going to impact your usage of TikTok,
Yes.
let us know.
That's very true. Yeah. And like because obviously I feel like the US has had such a big impact on the TikTok trends and stuff. Like for example, like I can't think of a single TikTok trend um that began in Greece, you know? Like but I'm sure there are people our age in Greece that know Brat Summer and like all those things, you know?
True. Yeah,
But that's also because like English is the most wide spoken language and like people who live in other countries like a lot of them typically have English as a second language so they can understand twice as many TikToks, like they can understand US TikToks and their own language.
true.
So
Also,
like
Charlie XCX is from Europe. So technically, Brat making it to the US would be
oh,
further than making it to Greece.
you're right. It just felt so American. I don't know why.
That's true. I get it. I mean, I feel like it is very like European club, but Brat Summer definitely felt very LA.
I just feel like it was like the concept or the magnification of the trend was brought on by people in the US who just bandwagon off of trends like that.
Right. I just want to see YouTube be that girl. I've said it over and over again, but I think it would be cool. What if like the pioneers of YouTube all band together? Like, okay, if Emma Chamberlain uploaded a video right now and it was like a car vlog where she went thrifting and it was 2018 editing, like she has the power to shake the earth
Yeah,
or
she
shake
could
my
change the
earth. I'm gonna be so
trajectory.
honest, like I would be shook. But
Well,
it's like,
no, like she could do something that could be like start the trajectory into the new style of media and like could be a history book timeline marker.
or what if like Joanna Cedia randomly uploaded a video and like,
Oh my
could you
gosh.
imagine?
Okay, that would be amazing.
I want somebody to come and gag us all. Like, I don't know. I want a YouTuber to sweep us,
That
sweep
should have
us
been one of your.
off of our
That should have been one of your 2025 predictions. Joanna Cedia rises from the dead, and
I hope she's doing well though, because I know
brings
she
back.
struggled with like eczema and all of that. So
No, I know.
it's
I
time
think
for
about
that to
her a
be cleared
lot.
up. TikTok is getting banned. And I'm just kidding. All the love to
Yeah,
her
like,
though.
I
She's
hope she's
an
okay.
icon.
Yeah, I
But
hope her
yeah.
eczema's figured out.
I know that like that's gotta
Me as
suck.
I'm,
So
me as I'm putting lip balm on my eczema on my hands.
oh no. Anyways, yeah, guys.
I don't know. I don't know if I have anything else to say about this.
I don't think so either. Just don't let James Charles go irrelevant, guys, because
Well, we will see either in a few days or not in a few days.
I just think it's gonna be weird without TikTok because it's like, are people just gonna be sitting on Spotify all day listening to telepathy? Like we have a lot of episodes, but are we
Yeah.
ready to like? I know we're the number one podcast, but are we ready to
Yeah.
bear the burden of all social media and all entertainment just on us? You
Yeah,
know?
for sure. I know we need to get prepared because, like, I know that people probably haven't been on Spotify in a long time since TikTok became a thing. And so as soon as TikTok's gone there, and be like, okay, what's another app that has like a black background and like a colorful icon? So they click on Spotify, and then the first thing that comes up is like podcasts you may be interested in, and it's like telepathy. And then they're like, okay, we'll click on that and just see what it is.
Right.
So it will be interesting to see how that goes down.
Yes, let us know your thoughts on this, whether you're from the US or not. You can share your perspective with us because we love hearing it all. So if you want to let us know, like in the YouTube comment section, there's also a Spotify comment section now actually for podcasts. Get into it, guys.
Yes.
You can also DM us. There are ways to speak your truth on the
Yeah.
interwebs. So let us know.
Other than TikTok. And we aren't
True.
really on TikTok. The funny thing is, like, I might post that snippet of the last episode to TikTok just because I wanted to start marketing on TikTok, but like it could be our first and last post, you know what I mean?
That's why we're relieved, actually, because we don't want to have to deal with that. Anyways, guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode. If you want to follow us on Instagram, follow at the Telepathy Pod. Also, if you want to follow our podcast, if you're on YouTube watching the video episode, you can subscribe for more video episode content. They're also available on Spotify, so you can follow us there as well and review this podcast there if you would like. And for the other platforms, do whatever's applicable and whatever speaks to your heart. I actually got that down today, feeling like such an influencer.
Indeed. I'm getting like spring vibes today. I don't know if it's the lighting in my room, but like spring is here and it's giving those 2020 vibes, but like without TikTok, and it feels so freeing.
The groundhog has spoken.
The ground. Oh my gosh, that's in a few days.
Oh my gosh, wait. No, the
I was
groundhog
like,
has spoken early, and her name is Anna Catherine, and she said spring is here.
Oh my gosh. No, I was literally like, wait, did I miss Groundhog Day? And then I remembered that February is in like a week. So this is going to be
Yes.
really exciting.
Okay, we
should
shall
do
see
an
you guys
episode.
soon.
We should
aka
do-
next Tuesday.
I feel like I maybe joked about this last year, but like Groundhog Day, Yasser passed.
I don't know if you were joking about that last year, but I hope you're joking about that this year.
No, I
I'm
am.
just kidding.
I am joking. Yasser Pass, Sir Walter Wally. Honestly,
Gag.
yes, I love him.
Yes, Pastor Gag. Anyways,
Gag or nag.
guys, we'll see you next
And so he's
Telepathy
trying to
Tuesday.
finish the episode. And
We
I'm
can't
being
end
annoying.
it. It's like I'm like, we'll see you next what? Groundhog Day. And I'm just kidding. We'll see you next Telepathy Tuesday. Thank you for listening or watching. Goodbye.
Goodbye. We just talked at the same time. Telepathy.
Telepathy. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.